And y'all know me, I was on the side of I want to see somebody new in the Super Bowl. I said it during the preseason. I said, when the regular season, the goal of the AFC is to stop the Kansas City Chiefs from getting to the Super Bowl, and the goal for the NFC is to stop the Eagles or the 49ers getting to the Super Bowl. And obviously that's not the case. This is a rematch from Super Bowl 57. It is what it is. It is what I know a lot of people are not happy with this Super Bowl matchup. The teams got to go out there and play. The teams got to go out there and play. You got to stop the main guys from getting back to the promised land. That's the whole goal of the regular season, and that's definitely the goal of the playoffs. You got to stop the champs from getting there. It is what it is. Kansas City Chiefs back for a third straight time. Philadelphia Eagles back second time in 3 years. It is what it is. Now, keys to victory for both teams. This is very intriguing to me. I know we seen this matchup a couple years ago. It was a very close game, but I think the addition of Saquon Barkley changes things, and I think there is pressure with the Kansas City Chiefs to win 3 straight. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Nobody has done it in the NFL. I thought in the mid-2000s, I always say I forgot Brady didn't do it. I think he won 2, if I'm not mistaken. Then he didn't win the next year, but he won the year after that, I believe. But I always thought it was 3 straight, but it wasn't. So it's hard to do. Can we see it for the first time? I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, but I'll say my prediction for later. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, keys to victory. How effective would their run game be? You got Pacheco back in the backfield. Can Patrick Mahomes make plays with hit legs as well? How effective would a run game be? We know he can make the best of the situation with the receivers and the running backs catching ball. He can make the best of it, but with that Philadelphia defense, how effective would a run game be? Will they be just pass heavy? We'll see how it goes. Also, will the Kansas City Chiefs receivers be able to get space dealing with the Philadelphia Eagles secondary? You got D-Hop, first Super Bowl for him in his 12-year career. You got Xavier Worthy, speed demon. You got Juju still out there. You got Hollywood Brown coming back from injury. And like I said before, Travis Kelce, even though he's been quiet for most of the season, he came alive in the AFC Championship, but you always know, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, they can make something happen with just them 3 alone. They can make something happen. Of course, you got the running backs as well, like I said before, coming out the backfield, catching passes as well. But that Philadelphia secondary, can they contain the Chiefs receivers? I'm looking for D-Hop to go crazy. First Super Bowl in 12 years. He's been held captive in his career by the Texans, numerous teams. I like to see D-Hop have a very good Super Bowl. I will say that. And like Xavier Worthy, like I said, speed demon. What can y'all do with him? Screen passes probably, the deep ball, just to get things going early. That'd be very interesting. And like I said, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, they're going to cook up something. You can best believe that. They're going to cook up something. Now let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs defense. We got Steve Spagnuolo, Kansas City Chiefs defensive coordinator, coming up with schemes to slow down Saquon Barkley. First year in Philadelphia, 2,000-yard rusher. The Kansas City Chiefs have not gave up 100 yards rushing since 2019 in the playoffs. That's easily the matchup I'm looking most forward to in Super Bowl 59. Saquon Barkley going up against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. That's the game, in my opinion. That's the game. If I'm thinking about the Chiefs scheme, it really comes up to 2 things. Are you going to let Saquon Barkley beat you? Or are you going to let Jalen Hurts beat you? We've seen what Saquon Barkley can do. He can take one for about 70 yards to the house. You got to contain him. If your main thing has been since 2019, we're not giving up over 100 rushing yards, you got to do that with Saquon Barkley. You got to hold him to about 60, 70. He's going to get his. You just got to contain him and let Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert make those guys beat you. But Saquon, if you allow Philadelphia to have a balanced offense with Saquon and Jalen Hurts get his confidence going, it's going to be a long day for the Chiefs. It's easier than it sounds for both sides. It's easier to say, we're going to stop Saquon Barkley and let Jalen Hurts beat us. It's easy for the Eagles to say, we're just going to stick with Saquon. Do what works for you. If I'm the Eagles, I'm saying Saquon is the reason why our offense is balanced. Our offense is running very smoothly all season. If I'm going to go down swinging, I'm going down with my identity. Don't go away from your identity. Because if you got Saquon running all season, that opened up things for Jalen Hurts in the passing game and allowing him to get some rushing yards as well. Do that in the Super Bowl. Do not stray away from that. Do not say, "Oh, we're gonna trick them to think Saquon doing this. We're gonna give Saquon 10 to 12 carries." No, stay with Saquon. If you going down swinging, go down swinging as you. I always believe in that. Don't shy away from who you are. Don't shy away from what got you to the promised land. So Saquon, he probably have 20 carries, more than 20 carries probably. You got to go down as you. And that opened things up for Jalen Hurts. Whether Saquon is getting averaging 8 yards rushing, 10 yards rushing, that still opened up things because they still looking at that threat of Saquon Barkley. He's still a threat regardless. So that's the matchup I'm looking forward to the most, Saquon Barkley and the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Now let's go to the Eagles. Like I said, stay with your identity and trust Jalen Hurts. Trust Jalen Hurts. Like I said before, his main goal is to quiet his doubters. Trust him. And Jalen Hurts, stay confident. Don't get discouraged. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got guys around you that can make plays. Trust your teammates. Offensive line, block. Jalen Hurts, if you see a hole, take it. We seen what Steve Spagnuolo can come up with schemes for blitz and all that, secondary coverage. We seen that with Josh Allen. But remain confident. Make sure you're watching game film. You got Kellen Moore, who's rumored, I think they said win or lose, he's probably going to get the Saints head coaching position, but they can't really have discussions until after the Super Bowl. So we'll see what Kellen Moore come up with in the offensive coordinator position for the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Defense, Philadelphia Eagles defense. You know who you're going up against. Patrick Mahomes. You know he can make plays happen. You know he can make some Mahomes magic come out his back pocket. Maintain. Don't take no crazy blitz. Cause you leave somebody open. Xavier Worthy, he the fastest man in the league. So if Pat Mahomes see that blitz coming, you know he gonna call that audible. Hey Xavier, they'll do a street route. I'm just gonna throw the ball up. You go up and catch it. You run down the field and catch it. I'm looking forward to these matchups. I know we seen it a couple years ago, but I think it's a different dynamic this year than it was a few years ago. Just different players, different things hanging up in the rafters for both teams to go and grab. History could be made. Killing, spoiling parties can be made with this matchup. I'm looking forward to it. And for both teams, no dumb penalties. No dumb penalties for both teams. That can easily cost you the game. Whether it's the first quarter, second quarter, third, fourth, dumb penalties can cost you the game.